Hey guys, it's Preston again. I hope everyone has been doing well. In tonight's video, I am going to be reading you guys a story, more specifically this story right here. It's called Rumple Buttercup by Mathew Gray Gubler. Now that name may sound familiar. He's also an actor and an artist as well. In fact, he did all the illustrations and the lettering for this book. So like the main character here and all of this lettering. I have heard some very good things about this book, and I thought we could check it out together. There's a short summary on the back. So it says, Rumple Buttercup has 5 crooked teeth, 3 strands of hair, green skin, and his left foot is slightly bigger than his right. He is weird. Join him at Candy Corn Carl, his imaginary friend made of trash, as they learn the joy of individuality as well as the magic of belonging. So let's get into it. Here are some more illustrations on both pages here. And the title page, Rumple Buttercup again. I'd guess another title page as well. And this book is dedicated for all the Rumples everywhere. And here is the first illustration of the book. And it says, "Come close and I'll tell you a story." Chapter 1. Once upon a time, long ago, and far away, in a tiny town, beneath a purple-peaked pine tree. And this is that pine tree right here. There was a monster named Rumple Buttercup. And that's what he looks like. He had 5 crooked teeth, 3 strands of hair, green skin, and his left foot was slightly bigger than his right. You can see that comparison right here. That's his left foot and that's his right foot. I'd say the difference is more than slight. He was weird. And Rumple worried that if anyone ever saw him, they would be scared, run away, or throw rocks at his head. see him. We can see the rain train right there and the garbage can with people walking by. But where he could still see them laughing and playing, singing and dancing, walking dogs and jumping rope. But most of all, not being weird. In this illustration here, it points out that people having more than 3 strands of hair, lots of straight teeth, no green skin, and proportional feet. Living underground wasn't all bad, though. Rumple made the most of it and had a nice little home he decorated with old garbage he found in the can outside. And here's a little illustration. Let me move back a little bit further so it's clear. An illustration of him going through the garbage can from the rain train. So this is Rumple's home right here with all of his decorations. So this is Rumple's home right here. He had a tin can chandelier. That's this right here. A broken umbrella toe scratcher right here. A footstool made entirely out of bubble gum and beans. That's right here. And an old-fashioned garbage chair with roller skate wheels and a rusted radio headrest. And that's right here. He's resourceful, I'll give him that. There he lived, day after day, week after week, year after year. So much time, in fact, that there's an illustration of a tree growing much larger. Alone. So, one day, he reached in the garbage can and took 2 lollipops, a piece of chewed gum, 3 strands of spaghetti, some melted licorice rope, a petrified pretzel, a handful of candy corn, and created Candy Corn Carl. And this is what he looks like. speech bubble here, and Rumple says to Carl, "What have you been up to, Carl?" But Carl never replied. Oh, that's so sad. And Rumple, there's some more dialogue here, and Rumple says to Carl, "Okay, well, hang in there, Carl." Get it? Hang in there, because you're hung on a wall. And then there's a little asterisk next to that. That's down here, and it says, "If Carl was real, he probably would have liked that joke. But since he was a bunch of candy stuck to a wall, he just stared." He probably would have. I like that joke too. When Rumple wasn't building stuff out of garbage or talking to Carl, he would listen to the voices above and pretend they were talking to him. With his eyes shut really tight, it was as if he was part of the fun happening above. Then there's a little speech bubble of someone calling out that says, "Can anyone get my cat out of that tall tree?" And Rumple is imagining here that he's getting the cat, and there's a exclamation mark here that says him saying, "I can." And he's imagining different situations where he's interacting with these people on the street. He's daydreaming about dancing, and someone is saying, "Wow, those are some great dance moves." And in his daydream, he just says thanks. And now he's picturing himself with a microphone here and telling those people the joke that he told Carl that says, "Hang in there, I said to him," and everyone says, "Ha ha ha ha." So everyone's laughing, and he just has his eyes closed. But when he opened his eyes, he would remember that it was just a dream, and no one was ever talking to him. garbage can, no one would notice him, and if anyone saw him, they would just think that he was a pile of trash. Hidden under his banana peel, Rumple almost felt like he was normal. Year after year, with his eyes shut tight, he would feel the breeze of the changing seasons. In October, he could hear the crunching of leaves and almost taste the apple cider. And it looks like it's Halloween with someone carrying a trick-or-treating basket. And you can see that the leaves are falling, and some leaves on the street as well. In December, he would hum along with the passing carolers. And you can see him say, fa la 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 la. And in July, he could imagine the beautiful fireworks. So it looks like someone's lighting off some fireworks right here as well. But at the end of each night, he always remembered that he was still all alone. Chapter 2. And I like this little illustration here where you can see the banana as part of the seed. The leaves were turning green, which meant that Rumple's favorite day was fast approaching. And you can see the leaf here going from no color here to green. The annual Pajama Jam Cotton Candy Pancake Parade. And you can see everyone in the town participating here and coming down the street. like he's in shock and has his mouth wide open. Rumple sheepishly replied, "What do you mean?" We couldn't help but notice that you weren't in your usual spot, so I thought I would check to make sure that you were okay. And Rumple says, "You can see me." "Of course we can see you. You're kind of hard to miss," says this person. "But aren't you scared of me?" Then a different voice replied, "Why would we be scared of you?" And then Rumple says, "Because I have 5 crooked teeth, 3 strands of hair, green scaly skin, and my left foot is slightly bigger than my right. I'm weird." You can see that Rumple still has that sheepish look on his face. And this person says, "Well, look at me," replied the boy. "I have really big cheeks, metal on my teeth, and my entire body happened before Rumple could feel the wind in his 3 strands of hair. And here's a little diagram of the top of his head with his hair blowing. He could taste the cotton candy pancakes in his 5 crooked teeth. And there it is right here. And he could finally feel the warm, welcoming sun beating down on his green, scaly skin. But the warmest feeling of all he felt was on the inside. Knowing he was surrounded by all of his new friends who all wore banana peels on their heads in honor of their newest friend, Rumple Buttercup. The end. You can see everyone is celebrating with him on the highest float, and everyone has just welcomed him to the town. And that's Mathew Gray Gubler right there. For those of you who have seen Criminal Minds, I'm sure you'll remember who he is. I actually used to watch that show with my parents a long time ago. But there's about the author in the back. It says, Mathew Gray Gubler writes, directs, paints, acts, and knows magic. He has a squeaky left knee, the posture of an earthworm, and he looks like a noodle when he dances. This is his first